I'm going to be talking about the book Life After Life by Kate Atkinson in my TED Talk. The title of my presentation will be called Fate or Free Will, The Journey of Olivia Todd, because I believe that the book it asks that question whether we have a choice or if something's pre-planned, if we have any choice in how we're going to end up and how we're going to get to the place we're supposed to get. So the story starts and ends the same way. It starts and ends with her holding a gun to the head of Hitler, because the whole idea behind it is that she is destined to kill Hitler. So, so she's destined to kill Hitler. And her own choices are the things that are getting her there, because she'll die, and then she'll come back, and then she'll move past that point, and then hit another decision, make the wrong decision, and end up dying again. So when she was born, fate versus free will. But when she was born, she actually died because she was choked and could not breathe by her own umbilical cord. She got past that, and the doctor couldn't get there in time, so she died again. She gets past that point, and when she's a young girl, she's with her sister at the beach, and they both end up drowning because they go out too far into the waves. But then she gets past that point because by pure fate, some guy sees them drowning and ends up saving her. Her brother is antagonizing her, after she gets past that point. Her brother's antagonizing her. He takes her doll, and he ends up throwing it on the roof, which is slippery because it's in the middle of winter. She goes onto the roof and she tries to get her doll, but she ends up falling and dying that way. So I think that also kind of relates to how we go through life, because when we're younger, we don't have a lot of choice. We don't have a lot of power over what happens to us. Our parents make decisions for us. They help us get through our problems. So kind of like that, she didn't get past the decisions herself. She had people around her that helped her through them. And other examples of the idea of fate, her mother, one of the lines said she had this feeling that she was supposed to be a mother, but honestly she wasn't really a nurturing type, so she wasn't actually a very good mother. And then they had a next door neighbor, and his name was George, which actually means tiller of the earth in Greek, and he became a farmer. So these people seem to have preset destinies, and they didn't really seem to have a choice in what happened. So the turning point for her, when her decision started affecting how she got past these points where she died, was in one of the storylines, one of the maid had gone to all the celebrations after World War I in London and had contracted the influenza virus. So she came home and then she gave it to Olivia, and Olivia died. And then the storyline went again, and then her brother died and Olivia died. So she has this feeling of deja vu, oh, I don't think the maid should go to all the celebrations in London. And to make sure she doesn't go, she ends up pushing the maid down the stairs, so she breaks her leg. But it stops both the maid, Olivia, and her brother from dying. So this is the turning point, because she's finally making decisions for herself, and that's getting her through to the next point in her life where she has to make another big decision. So, and once you get past that point, there's a part in the storyline where on her 14th birthday, one of her brother's friends tries to rape her. And she didn't say anything about it. She ends up getting pregnant from that. So she has to go to the hospital to get an abortion, basically. And that ends up in her mother disowning her, and she ends up dying in an off-chance way there. So she goes through that storyline again, but she ends up pushing the boy away, and she gets past that point. But she ends up meeting this guy who ends up being abusive, and he actually beats her to death. So she got past that point, but it led to another dead end. So she gets past the point of her brother's friend trying to rape her. She avoids the man because she has this feeling that he's going to be bad. And there are two other examples where she actually ended up in Germany during World War II. She met a nice man, she had kids, but they were persecuting people who weren't like native-born Germans. And she ended up taking a cyanide pill with her daughter because she didn't want to face what the other people had to face. And then one time she died in an explosion in London during all the raids. So she got past that point and ended up joining the air raid precautions, which helped clean up after the explosions had happened. And she got out of that, made that decision and got out of that death. So I kind of thought this has a Judeo-Christian theme because one, redemption, she's getting chances. Like the book even ends with the saying darkness falls, which happens when she dies and she gets another chance. So I think the book is kind of saying we do have chances. We have chances to make things right, especially when we make wrong decisions. And I mean, this is a drastic way. She dies when she makes a certain decision. But the idea is the same. And I would put this in the curriculum, especially now when we have a lot of decisions to make on our own. Because, I mean, we have college, we're going to start moving out. We have to start making decisions for ourselves to get where we're supposed to go, especially under the Judeo-Christian theme when God kind of supposedly has a plan for all of us. But we have to make our own decisions because we have free will to get to the place we need to go. So, especially now when the decisions we make an impact on where we're going to go in life, I thought that was pretty relevant to what we're facing today, especially.